Throughout my PhD and my postdocs, I heard the same advice over and over again, that you should go outside of the home country to further your career in academia. You should do your PhD or one of your postdocs abroad. Now, I'm not 100% convinced that that is good advice still. There seemed to be in the past some sort of weird mysticism around the people from outside, the people that had come from America, the UK, from Australia, from Europe. Like, these places were seen to be a little bit more prestigious than they necessarily were. So I don't think that it's necessary anymore to do a PhD outside of your home country just because it will look good on your CV, which was something that people said a lot about. Although that said, the people that did do a part of their academic career outside of their home country, they seem to be doing quite well in academia at the moment. I'm not sure whether that's just confirmation bias. I haven't done the statistical analysis on it, but the people that did go to Japan from Australia, did go to Germany from Australia, they're also still in academia. So maybe there is something to it. The mysticism, I think, has slowly dissolved away over the years, but there are some good reasons to do your PhD abroad or do a postdoc abroad, and we'll talk about those in this video. This video is brought to you by my newsletter. Go check it out at andrewstapleton.com.au/newsletter. I'll put a link in the description. When you sign up, you'll get 5 free emails. Everything from the tools I use, how to write the perfect abstract, my TEDx talk, podcasts I've been on, and more. It's exclusive content only available on that free newsletter. So go sign up and I'll see you in your email inbox. Is that what the kids are calling it? All right, the first good reason to do a PhD abroad is if there are better universities or better opportunities in terms of funding and better academics outside of your home country. Now go check out my other video where I talk about whether or not it's worth doing PhDs in top universities. There's a whole range of considerations around that on its own. But if you are in a country that doesn't have many of the top world-class universities or academics or opportunities or funding amounts of money that, that it's hard to get money in your home country, then it is good to go abroad. I came to Australia from the UK. I actually took a step, now maybe controversial, watch out, I took a step down in prestige to come to Australia to do my PhD. The reason I did that is because I wanted a better work-life balance. I wanted to live in a nicer country with better weather, with more opportunities for work. The UK to me, even though the universities were better and I could have gone to a much more prestigious university to do my PhD, I chose to follow a lifestyle that I wanted to lead. One of my master's supervisor actually said to me that I was making a huge mistake by going to Australia to do my PhD because they were not as prestigious. Maybe he was right. Maybe that's why I'm no longer in academia. Who knows? But if there's better academics, if there's just someone that you have to work under that is super good in your field, that you want to go and work under them, then yes, that is a good reason. And also some countries have much better funding than other countries. So all good reasons to do your PhD abroad. Another reason why you may want to do a PhD abroad is because it takes less time. PhDs in Europe, in Australia, in New Zealand, in the UK, which is now not part of Europe, they have 3 to 4 years PhD time. Now, in the States and Canada, you are typically required to do 2 years of coursework before actually doing your PhD, which can blow out the PhD time. I don't think that makes any sense if you can do your PhD abroad, because what you'll end up doing is getting the same qualification, potentially at a better university in a much shorter amount of time. So if time is of the essence for you and it's very important that you move on to that next stage of your career quickly, I highly recommend moving away from the US and Canada and looking abroad at places that offer 3-year PhDs. You get straight into the research, you get straight into the life of an academic, which is also valuable because you start to work out earlier on whether or not an academic career is for you by actually living it. So yes, time is another important factor that you need to consider. You should also consider whether or not you want to try a different lifestyle, a different culture, live in a place with a different language. Like, these are questions that are a little bit bigger than the academic components of doing a PhD. Now, I chose lifestyle. I came to Australia. Oh, I think I got a parcel. Parcel, nice. So I chose to come to Australia because of the lifestyle. I didn't necessarily care about becoming an academic. Doing a PhD in a place that I'd been before, I traveled in, I absolutely loved. I loved the lifestyle, I loved the people. Was a no-brainer for me. I chose a PhD in Australia mainly because I could get a student visa much easier than a working visa. Even though I kind of did want to do a PhD anyway, it just made the decision for me. So being able to move to a different country, experience a new lifestyle, experience a new culture, that was fantastic. I really liked that. It was a lifestyle choice. I designed my life to move to a country that I just enjoyed living in, which is also another good reason. A PhD and academia in general allows you to jump around from country to country relatively easily. The university system kind of has worked well with the visa regulations in different countries so that you can jump around. Now, the one thing I would say, and I may get a little bit of backlash about this, is that some countries can be racist towards people coming from outside and working in academia. In my experience, I have seen international PhD students and international postdocs be treated slightly differently and maybe slightly worse in Australia. And I don't know if that is ubiquitous across all of Australian universities. One thing I recommend you do is go to that country and hang out there for as long as you can and just check out the lifestyle, check out how people interact with you. That's probably the only way you can get a sort of real understanding of what your life would be like in a certain country. That said, Australia, I think, is still a very warm and open country, but you do have to worry a little bit about, in academia, it can be a little bit racist. Now, let me know in the comments if I've overstepped a mark there or if you disagree or agree with me, but I have noticed a difference. Another big consideration you need to make if you are moving abroad for your PhD or any part of your academic career is the network that you are leaving behind, or the network that you can gain by going somewhere. Now, doing a PhD is hard on its own. It's hard to do something that no one else has done and stay sane and be away from financial support and just be a little bit further away from your family and friends that you can just call up and be like, I'm having a terrible day. Like, all of that is very important. Doing a PhD is difficult anyway, and you chuck in the extra the complications on top of doing your PhD in a country where you don't have those support networks, or it's an unfamiliar culture that you're not happy with or uncomfortable in. All of those things can make your PhD experience much worse than it needs to be. In that instance, doing a PhD in your home country may be much better for you. Having people just readily available can make a huge difference, because as soon as you start to feel those kind of imposter syndrome feelings, as soon as you start to feel like things aren't going well, having immediate and genuine support from a network of people will help almost instantly. So make sure that you also consider the networks you're leaving behind and the networks that you may make in the future. The networks you may make by going abroad may help you much more with your career stuff. It may mean that you have more connections, more opportunities to write papers, to get grants, to be around people with different skills that you can collaborate with. That is also a very important part of doing your PhD somewhere is what connections are you going to make and what kind of value they can give you to the long-term view of your career. Yes, networks, very important. Think about those. So there we have it. There are the biggest things I think you need to consider if you want to do your PhD or really any part of your academic career abroad. Now, let me know in the comments what you would add. What have I missed? Did you enjoy doing your PhD abroad? Would you do it again? Would you advise against it? I'm really interested to know about that. And also go check out academiainsider.com. That's my project where I've got my ebook, The Ultimate Academic Writing Toolkit, as well as my Insider Forum. So go check it out. It was a project that was launched last year, and it's going really well. So thank you very much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.